Welcome to Powerhouse Mentality, and today we will be talking on 6 theories on psychology of manipulation. Theory 1. Reciprocation. Give something to get something, right? Remember the story of the chicken who planted grain so that her chicks could eat? She asked for help to sow the grain, to keep the field clean from weeds, to harvest the grain, and finally, to make the bread. She asked her neighbors and friends to help, but in the end, no one was interested until the bread was hot and ready to eat. Since her neighbors had not given her anything in the form of help, she was not inclined to provide them with any of the final product. That give and take is the first principle of getting along in life, and it's known as one of the foundational principles of persuasion as well. Reciprocity merely means that if you give someone something, they are more likely to provide you with something in return. Theory 2. Commitment and consistency. We humans have a reality surrounding us at all times. I put this reality in quotes because it is a reality of our creation. Our brains have an innate ability to tell stories, and we tell ourselves stories all of the time. We tell ourselves stories of the type of person we believe we are, and how we behave feeds into that story. When presented with a choice, you make that choice based on the story of who you are. One of the options looks right to us because making that choice is consistent with what we believe a person like us would do. Theory 3. Social proof. This core persuasion principle is also sometimes referred to as consensus. Social proof feeds directly from the previous storytelling of commitment and consistency. We have told ourselves a story of what we believe we are, what we stand for, and the kind of person we are. To reinforce that story, we look at how other people behave for social proof of how people like us should react in a particular situation. Now, more than ever, the internet has created countless places where we can go for this type of reinforcement. Some of that reinforcement is legitimate, some not so much. All of it is used as a powerful tool for persuasion, as we'll find out going forward. Theory 4. Authority. Now, once we have decided on the type of person we are, and we've assembled with the kinds of people we believe reinforce that identity, the next step is to seek out knowledgeable people to reinforce what we've told ourselves to be true. That's where the idea of authority takes hold. As sane people, we are likely to take the advice of people who appear to have more knowledge about a subject than we do. That is certainly necessary. No one can know everything, not even with smartphones and Google, just a tap away. We seek out the advice of people who know more about a subject than we do. We'll talk more about using this in persuasion later. Theory 5. Liking. Liking is one of those core principles that seem obvious, but yet it needs definition since it is at the hub of all types of persuasion. Liking, simply put, means that you are much more likely to be persuaded by someone that you like. If you don't like someone, are you going to take their advice? Probably not. We, humans, are wired to make snap judgments about almost every situation we get into, and one of the most straightforward decisions to make is whether we like someone or not. Every person you meet triggers a feeling instantly of comfort or wariness. This was a survival skill in the early days of our evolution, and it still holds sway today, as we'll see. Theory 6. Scarcity. Speaking of evolution's early days, our final persuasion principle is an obvious holdover from the early days of staying alive. Scarcity makes things more valuable to us, so when something seems like it is limited in quantity, we are more likely to want it. Sand is commonplace. Gold is not. Which would you rather have? Or more to the point, what does all humankind want more? It most certainly used to be food that was so valuable, so that early man found ways to preserve food when it was abundant, so that it would be around when food got scarce. Survival depends on specific resources that can be in short supply, so humans are naturally prone to try and save and hang on to that which is not always available. Since this is core hardwiring in our brains, we'll see that this is an often used method of persuasion today. Hey, if you enjoyed this video, make sure subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell, and leave me a comment.